Okay, it's Michael Prime here. I'm in the locker room with Ian Lewison in the build-up to the Lewison versus Joe Joyce 20th of October card at the Indigo O2. Ian, how are you doing?
Ian's grand. Ian can't wait till the day.
You mentioned before in the build-up quite extensively, this will probably be the longest camp that you've had for a fight. How's this camp gone? Obviously we're a week out from the fight now.
Yeah, do you know what? This has been the longest I've ever had notice for a fight, and you see like now it's like the last 9 days before the fight. Now I'm just thinking to myself, Jesus, it seems so long. It's like I just can't wait for the day now. But yeah, I'm just buzzing. I just can't wait.
Through no fault of your own, obviously you've had a bit of an extended time out of the ring since your last fight. Do you think that's going to be good for yourself that you've had a bit of an extended rest, or would you have rather been busier in that last period?
But you know what it is, I'm just accepting it for what it is. That even if I turn around and said, oh, it was an inconvenience, it ain't going to work for me, at the end I've got to deal with the circumstances it is. And the circumstances are, I've had that time out, so it makes no difference whether it's been a hindrance or a benefit. We'll find out on the day.
So with this, I mean, Don Charles covered it again in the original press conference. What was your reaction when you found out that they put this challenge to you for Joe's first fight as a debutant to fight yourself?
Well, my immediate reaction was, I thought, do you know what? I thought they were definitely going to, my honest opinion was they're making the fight and then come close to the fight, they'll pull out to just get headlines and stuff. I thought that was the case, but it seems they're adamant with it and they're going through with it.
Yeah, well, we hope so now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Joe Joyce is a celebrated amateur boxer, great pedigree. Yourself, you're a seasoned pro now. What's the upside for you on this fight? If you're to beat Joe Joyce, are you worried that people will come and say he's a debutant, he's a novice? What's the plus point for you from a victory here?
Do you know what? The plus side for me is the exposure this fight brings, and really and truly that's all in itself it's going to bring, because as you said, he is the debutee in the professional game, but what is he bringing to the table? Exposure. Yeah. So that's what I'm taking from it.
Yeah, we saw a bit on Twitter this week that Hayemaker were lining up Joe Joyce for the Hay versus Bellew card. Bit presumptuous, we thought, but what's your reaction to hearing things like that?
But that would definitely be a good comeback fight. Definitely be a good comeback fight for him to try and rebuild him on. Yeah.
So after this fight, what is next for Ian Lewison?
Well, we'll have to see what happens, and how and what happens, we'll take it from there. We'll see what presents itself. It's
an amazing fight that we're all, as fans, really looking forward to. I mean, this is would this be one of the biggest cards in terms of maybe audience and exposure TV-wise that you would have had, with the exception of the Dillian White fight? No,
I think the biggest one I've ever been on was the China one, because that was spread out, that was shown all across China. And the arena itself was like 17,000 arena, so it was a big one. And plus I was away from home, so it was definitely a big card, and it was equivalent to the Chinese Sky Sports it was shown on, so that in itself was a big audience.
Yeah. So, you're working with Don Charles. Don Charles obviously trains several other British fighters, several upper heavyweights as well. How do you find it spreading, it's not spreading yourself, but him spreading himself around his stable of fighters? Do you manage to get enough time, or do you train with the other fighters?
Yeah, no, definitely, because you know what it is, it's like at the end of the day he's a professional, so he delegates time slots for each person that he trains. Therefore, it's not a matter of how do I find it. I find that during my time, so he's giving me 100% of what he needs to give me, so therefore it fits nicely into the runners of things, because he has time slots allocated to each fighter, and each fighter sticks to their time slot, then they can only get the best out of it.
Brilliant. So with a week left to the fight, I take it your camp's it's winding down a bit now.
Well, we're still in the full swing of things, but you know, it will wind down in the next couple of days, yeah.
One question we've been asking fighters over the last couple of weeks now, on the back of the Luis Ortiz kind of, is he, isn't he, we don't really know what the situation is with him. How difficult is it for a fighter to keep track of every substance that they consume, whether that be food or medication or anything like that?
In terms of food, it's fairly easy in terms of food, but where it becomes difficult is obviously if you're taking any medication or you're taking any supplements. But if it's got the seal of approval on it, the supplements, then it shouldn't be a problem. But the only problem really lies in medication in which you've been prescribed, or if you haven't been prescribed, obviously that's where the problem is.
Yeah, we've heard that it's possibly, I think it was blood pressure tablets that Ortiz may have or may have not taken. It's a bit of a strange one, but yeah, we've been asking our fighters it because we just find it really interesting that obviously you're completely 100% in control of what you're supposed to be taking, and obviously we've seen a few fighters that have fallen foul of those over the last few years. So it's just interesting, something for the fans to pick up on.
It also depends on which part of the world you're in as well as to the food side of things. Because if you go, for example, Asia, in terms of where they give the animals gimbluru, which is a banned substance in professional sport. It's like what bodybuilders use to cut weight, and they give it to the animals. So if we eat the meat now, therefore it would have traces of it in the blood. So it depends where in the world and how the animals are fed and what the animals are given. But it will definitely show in terms of like the amount in which you've got in your system. If it's just through food and you're eating it secondary via the food you're getting, then your amount should be low.
Yeah.
And that in itself should be easy enough to prove. But where you've got higher amounts of it, that can only come through you actually taking it as a first party.
See, that's brand new information. I didn't know. That's really interesting. As we said, obviously we're about a week or so away from the fight now. Your camp will be winding down in the next few days, you said. So how would you relax in the preparation for the fight in the last couple of days?
To tell you the truth, nothing's different. I'll do what I do anyway. I stay out and chill, watch telly, do whatever, and it's just no different to any normal day.
Just a big fight at the end of the week.
That's it, yeah. And all it is just above the weekend I've got a fight. It's no different to looking forward to a sparring session in the gym. The only difference is this sparring session that I'm looking forward to over the weekend is going to be televised and it's going to be shown around the world. But in terms of everything, it's still the same sort of thing.
Okay, to step away slightly from the card next week, so we've had the announcement which has got a lot of heavyweight fans' attention again. That's the Hay-Bellew rematch. Do you have any thoughts on that?
To tell you the truth, it's what it is, isn't it? Hay-Bellew, two of them are going to fight. It's not a fight that I can honestly say, yeah, I'm sitting down anxious, I'm anticipating, I can't wait for. No. Well, whoever wins, wins.
Brilliant. All right, well, thank you very much for having us with you today, and I hope you're not too sore after your massage now.
No, I'm feeling good now, I'm definitely feeling good. She works wonders, yeah. And I'd just like to say I thank my sponsors, Adidas, RBL Free Security, and #1 supplements.com.co.uk.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for joining us at Beyond the Ropes today.
All right, thank you. Cheers.